Do you know the startling truth about John Wayne's death at 79 years old? His wife finally speaks out, sharing the secrets everyone has been eager to know. This is the story you can't afford to miss. Get ready for revelations that will change everything you thought you knew. John Wayne, who was born Marion Robert Morrison on May the 26th, 1907, in Winterset, Iowa, was destined to become a legendary figure in the world of Hollywood. Early in his life, he was shaped by his upbringing in the Midwest and his strong sense of importance of family values. Early in his life, Wayne relocated to the state of California, and it was during this time as a football player at the University of Southern California that he acquired an interest in acting. A shoulder injury ended his athletic career, but it led him to Hollywood, where he worked as an extra and prop boy in movies. His career in sports was cut short. Wayne began his career in the film industry in a humble manner. In 1930, he made his debut in a significant role in the epic film The Big Trail, directed by Raoul Walsh. Even though the picture was unsuccessful at the box office, the directors took note of Wayne's performance. Over the course of the next 10 years, he honed his craft by working in B-movies, primarily westerns. In these films, he developed the rough and austere persona that would come to define his career. The year 1939 saw the release of John Ford's Stagecoach, which not only contributed to the advancement of the western genre, but also catapulted Wayne to prominence. Wayne's compelling and strong performance as the Ringo Kid made him considered a leading man. The success of the film Stagecoach marked the beginning of a fruitful collaboration between Wayne and Ford, who directed Wayne in a number of his best-selling films. Curious about the key films that turned John Wayne into a Western icon? Keep watching to discover the milestones that defined his career. As soon as the film Stagecoach was a commercial hit, John Wayne quickly became one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood. The 1940s and 1950s were particularly fruitful for Wayne, since he established his status as the archetypal American hero through his participation in a series of films during those decades. Movies such as Red River, 1948, Fort Apache, 1948, and She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, 1949, brought to light his versatility as an actor and his commanding presence on the screen. The movie The Searchers, 1956, which was also directed by John Ford, is considered to be one of the most significant films that Wayne starred in during this time period. In the film, Wayne played the role of Ethan Edwards, a multifaceted and morally questionable character. The film, which is now widely regarded as one of the best westerns ever made, highlights Wayne's performance as one of the most impressive of all his performances. In this particular segment, it was demonstrated that Wayne was not merely a one-dimensional performer, but that he was also capable of delivering intricate performances that resonated with the audience. It is impossible to overstate the fact that Wayne had a significant impact on the Western genre. In the process of becoming the face of the Western film genre, he became the embodiment of the strong personality and frontier attitude that characterized many Western films. His on-screen character was so powerful that it transcended genres and served as a successful emblem of the principles of patriotism of the United States of America. His status as the most accomplished Western hero was bolstered by the films such as The Alamo and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, among others. Want to learn how John Wayne's roles in these iconic films influenced not just cinema, but American culture? Let's get into it. Throughout his career spanning half a century, John Wayne appeared in around 170 films. The scope of his work extended beyond the Western genre. He starred in comedies, dramas, and even movies about the military. Despite this, his portrayal of the American cowboy left an indelible mark on the culture of the United States as well as the film industry. It was in 1969 that Wayne received his first and only Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance as Rooster Cogburn in the film True Grit. Due to the fact that Wayne had been a significant figure in Hollywood for many years, this form of recognition was long overdue. Despite the fact that Wayne's portrayal of the grizzled and one-eyed United States Marshal became one of his most cherished performances, the film True Grit was a critical and financial flop. Wayne's influence extended beyond the realm of his films. His intense patriotism and his staunch support for conservative ideals earned him both praise and criticism. He was a strong advocate for conservative principles. The parts that he played on film were remarkably comparable to his public persona, which was characterized by a strong, determined, and uncompromising demeanor. Wayne's legacy continues to live on long after he passed away in 1979. He came to be regarded as a cultural icon on account of his ability to symbolize a bygone era of American values. As he was affectionately referred to, the Duke, who is renowned for his contributions to the film industry, continues to be even in modern times. His films continue to be considered highly and watched by many audiences. His impacts on the Western genre is unrivaled. John Wayne left behind a legacy that exerts an enduring effect not only in the realm of Hollywood, but also on the greater cultural scene. Want to know how John Wayne's legacy endured long after his career? Keep watching. John Wayne's personal life. John Wayne, the iconic Hollywood star, known for his rugged and tough on-screen persona, led a personal life that was equally complex and demanding. Behind the scenes of his larger-than-life image lay a man who experienced both the joys and tribulations of family life, all while navigating the pressures of a demanding career. John Wayne's personal life was marked by 3 marriages, each with its own unique set of challenges and rewards. His first marriage to Josephine Scenes in 1933 came at a time when Wayne was still on the rise in Hollywood. The marriage lasted for 12 years and produced 4 children: Michael, Mary, Patrick, and Melinda. Josephine, who came from a prominent Latin American family, provided Wayne with a semblance of stability during the early years of his career. The couple's relationship was, by most accounts, a happy one, though it was not without its difficulties, particularly as Wayne's career began to take off. The demands of Wayne's burgeoning career put a strain on his marriage to Josephine. As he became more involved in the Hollywood scene, the time he spent away from home increased. Despite their eventual divorce in 1945, Wayne remained deeply connected to his children from this marriage. He was particularly involved in the life of his eldest son, Michael, who would go on to follow in his father's footsteps, not as an actor, but as a film producer. Michael produced several of his father's later films, establishing a professional relationship that complemented their personal bond. Wayne's efforts to integrate his children into his professional life were a testament to his dedication as a father, despite the challenges he faced in balancing his career with his family responsibilities. Curious about the untold stories of Wayne's personal life? Stay tuned. In 1946, just a year after his divorce from Josephine, Wayne married Esperanza Chata Bauer, a Mexican actress. This marriage proved to be far more tumultuous than his first. Chata, who was described by some as possessive and emotionally volatile, struggled to cope with Wayne's demanding lifestyle and his close ties to his former wife and children. The marriage was fraught with emotional instability, leading to frequent conflicts between the couple. These tensions were exacerbated by Wayne's continuing success in Hollywood, which often kept him away from home for long periods of time. The marriage to Chata lasted until 1954, when it ended in a bitter divorce. This period was particularly challenging for Wayne, as the instability in his personal life began to affect his public image. The media, always eager to delve into the private lives of celebrities, reported extensively on the couple's marital woes. Despite the turmoil, Wayne managed to maintain his professional composure, continuing to deliver powerful performances on screen. However, it was clear that the stress of his personal life was beginning to take a toll on him. Wayne's third marriage to Peruvian actress Pilar Pallet marked a turning point in his personal life. Married in 1954, just months after his divorce from Chata, Wayne found in Pilar the stability and support he had long sought. This marriage, which lasted until Wayne's death in 1979, was perhaps the most fulfilling of his life. Together, Wayne and Pilar had 3 children, Aisa, John Ethan, and Marissa. Pilar provided Wayne with a sense of peace and stability that had been missing in his previous marriages. She created a nurturing home environment that allowed Wayne to focus on both his career and his family. Despite the demands of his career, Wayne made a concerted effort to be present in the lives of his children. He was known to be a strict yet loving father, instilling in his children the values of integrity, hard work, and honesty. Wayne's relationship with his children was central to his life, and he often spoke about how much they meant to him. His sons, in particular, were encouraged to follow in his footsteps, not necessarily as actors, but as men of principle. Wayne's dedication to his family was evident in the time he spent with them, whether attending family gatherings, school events, or simply being present in their lives despite his busy schedule. Curious about how these challenges and controversies influenced John Wayne's journey? Keep watching to delve deeper into the complexities of the man behind the legend. John Wayne's personal life was not without its challenges and controversies, many of which were magnified by his status as a public figure. His actions and opinions were constantly under scrutiny, and he faced a number of issues that could have overshadowed his career. One of the most prominent aspects of Wayne's public persona was his outspoken political beliefs. During the Cold War, Wayne was a staunch supporter of anti-communist policies and a vocal advocate of American patriotism. He was heavily involved with the House Un-American Activities Committee, or HUAC, during the late 1940s and early 1950s, supporting the blacklisting of individuals in Hollywood who were suspected of communist sympathies. Wayne's involvement in the HUAC and his support for the blacklist made him a polarizing figure in Hollywood. While many admired his patriotism, others viewed his actions as an infringement on civil liberties. The controversy surrounding his political beliefs and actions led to significant tension within the industry, with some colleagues distancing themselves from him. Beyond his political controversies, Wayne also faced significant personal challenges, particularly in terms of his health. In 1964, Wayne was diagnosed with lung cancer, a condition that would ultimately define the latter part of his life. He underwent surgery to remove his left lung and several ribs, a procedure that forced him to confront his own mortality. Despite the severity of his illness, Wayne continued to work, refusing to let his health problems slow him down. His resilience in the face of such adversity only served to enhance his larger-than-life image, but it also placed additional strain on his personal life. Want to uncover the controversies that left a mark on John Wayne's legacy? There's more to explore about his personal struggles and the public image he crafted. John Wayne's battle with cancer was a defining moment in his life, both personally and professionally. His determination to keep working, even as his health declined, was emblematic of the tough, no-nonsense persona he had cultivated throughout his career. However, this same determination also led to tension in his personal life, and his dedication to his work often meant long periods away from his family. Despite these challenges, Wayne remained committed to his career, continuing to deliver memorable performances until the very end of his life. Wayne also faced criticism for his views on race and culture, which came to the forefront during a 1971 interview with Playboy magazine. In the interview, Wayne expressed opinions that many considered to be outdated and offensive, particularly in relation to African Americans and Native Americans. These remarks sparked widespread outrage, leading to calls for boycotts and protests against his films. The backlash was significant, and it tarnished Wayne's reputation in the eyes of many. Despite the controversy, Wayne remained unapologetic for his views, standing by his statements even as they became increasingly at odds with the social and cultural shifts of the 1970s. This stubbornness only added to the complexity of Wayne's public image. He was a man who, despite his many flaws, remained true to his beliefs, no matter how unpopular they became. In the end, it was this unwavering commitment to his principles that defined Wayne both as a man and as a cultural icon. John Wayne's personal life was as multifaceted and complex as the characters he portrayed on screen. His marriages, relationships with his children, political views, and health struggles all contributed to the larger-than-life persona that made him one of Hollywood's most enduring icons. Despite the challenges he faced, both in his personal life and in the public eye, Wayne remained a towering figure in American cinema. Wayne's legacy is one of resilience, dedication, and an unyielding commitment to his craft. He was a man who, despite his flaws, embodied the rugged individualism and patriotism that became synonymous with his name. Whether on screen or off, Wayne lived life on his own terms, never backing down from a challenge and always staying true to his beliefs. Today, John Wayne is remembered not just for his iconic roles in films like True Grit and The Searchers, but also for the complexities of his personal life, which added depth to the character he portrayed. His legacy continues to inspire new generations of actors and filmmakers, and his influence on the Western genre remains unparalleled. Want to learn how these personal struggles and public controversies shaped John Wayne's life? Keep reading to explore the complexities behind the legend. The final years. In the final years of his life, John Wayne, who was the epitome of strength and determination in the film industry, struggled with serious health problems. Following his battle with lung cancer in the 1960s, Wayne's health continued to deteriorate into the 1970s. Although Wayne had a reputation for being strong, he was not immune to the effects of years of excessive drinking and smoking, as well as the physical demands of his starring roles in movies. By the middle of the 1970s, Wayne's health had deteriorated to the point where he was frequently admitted to and discharged from hospitals to deal with a wide range of diseases, including cardiac problems and the long-term effects of his cancer treatment. For a considerable amount of time, Wayne's declining health was kept a closely held secret. This was due to the fact that he continued to work in movies such as The Shootist in 1976, in which he portrayed a gunfighter who was dying of cancer. His performance was both poignant and reflective, and it was able to capture the fragility of a man who had been believed unstoppable for a tremendous amount of time. Despite this, Wayne was engaged in a struggle behind the scenes too. It was a physically challenging experience for him to film The Shootist, and he frequently experienced pain and required assistance in order to get through his scenes. He continued to do so despite the fact that he felt a strong sense of commitment to both his fans and his profession. Up until Wayne's latter years, when his appearances grew progressively less frequent, the general public was generally unaware of the severity of the health issues he was experiencing. As speculation about his condition increased in the media, Wayne, who has always been a stoic individual, hardly ever spoke about his health. He continued to portray himself as powerful, despite the fact that his physique was deteriorating. In 1978, he underwent surgery to remove his stomach due to cancer. This was the procedure from which he never fully recovered. What was hidden about John Wayne's last days? Find out now. John Wayne passed away on June the 11th, 1979, at the age of 72, as a result of complications related to stomach cancer. As a result of the fact that Wayne was one of the last great idols of the golden age of cinema, his passing marked the end of an era in Hollywood. As well as among his millions of followers all around the world, the news of his passing sent shockwaves across the business world. The honors that were paid to a man who had come to symbolize the tenacity and force of the United States of America were pouring in from all over the world. Immediately upon Wayne's passing, there was an outpouring of respect and mourning. However, thousands of people came to express their condolences at the Crystal Cathedral in Garden Grove, California, even though his funeral was a private ceremony that was attended only by his immediate family and close friends. His influence on American culture was reflected in that ceremony, which featured eulogies that emphasized not only Wayne's achievements to the film industry, but also his role as a patriotic individual and an embodiment of the American spirit through his contributions to the film industry. Consequently, the media coverage of Wayne's passing was reflected in the fact that newspapers, magazines, and television shows devoted a significant amount of time to commemorating his life and legacy, respectively. The passing of this specific Hollywood hero, who exemplified a bygone era of machoism and conventional wisdom, signified the end of a certain type of Hollywood hero. Within the years that have passed since Wayne's demise, numerous films, novels, and retrospectives that examine his life and career have been produced in order to pay tribute to his legacy. It is still possible to observe the influence that Wayne had on the greater cultural scene as well as the Western genre. Even now, his films continue to be viewed and cherished, and his status as the quintessential American hero has not been tarnished. The fact that John Wayne's legacy as a Hollywood star continues to endure in spite of the challenges and obstacles he faced is evidence of his enduring appeal and the indelible mark he left on the film industry. Discover the lasting impact of John Wayne's legacy and how he continues to inspire generations. Keep watching to learn more. The rumors and speculations. By the time John Wayne passed away in 1979, there were already several rumors and theories circulating about his health and his ultimate demise. Wayne, one of the most well-known figures in Hollywood, was under constant surveillance, and the circumstances surrounding his passing remained a mystery that only served to pique the interests of the general public. The idea that Wayne contracted cancer as a result of radioactive fallout after filming The Conqueror in the Utah desert was one of the more persistent misconceptions ever circulated about him. Following the film's production in 1956, which took place in close proximity to a location where the United States government had conducted nuclear testing, the film was subsequently linked to multiple occurrences of cancer among the actors and crew. The notion gained momentum and became the generally accepted explanation for Wayne's cancer, despite the fact that there was no data that could definitely link Wayne's disease to the radioactive fallout. Another common rumor claimed that Wayne had been suffering from cancer for a considerable amount of time prior to his announcement of his diagnosis in 1964. Some people believed that he had concealed his illness for a number of years because they believed that doing so would damage his reputation as a tough guy and ruin his job. In spite of his deteriorating health, Wayne continued to take hard roles, which combined with his tough appearance, helped to lend credence to these rumors. His unrelenting work ethic and refusal to slow down only helped to heighten the mystery around his illness and raise a great deal of supposition regarding the exact nature of his condition. Over the course of time, other conspiracy theories emerged, each of which suggested that Wayne's death was more complicated than it initially appeared. Some others claimed that his medical history contained information that had been kept hidden on purpose and was not intended for the general public. According to the opinions of certain individuals, his passing was hastened by factors that were not visible to the general public, such as experimental treatments or medical negligence. Fans of John Wayne and those who believed in the Fans of John Wayne and those who believe in the existence of a conspiracy theory continued to investigate every facet of his life and death for a considerable amount of time following his passing, looking for clues that would assist in unraveling the mystery surrounding the man. What did John Wayne's wife keep from the public? Discover the truth. For a considerable amount of time, Pilar Paulette, who was John Wayne's third wife, maintained a particularly low profile regarding the passing of her husband. Due to the fact that she chose not to discuss such a significant aspect of Wayne's life, this silence aroused public attention and speculation, as many individuals questioned the reasons behind her decision. Pilar's decision to refrain from publicly discussing Wayne's final days and the circumstances surrounding his passing have been interpreted in a variety of ways, which has led to an increase in the number of ideas and guesses about his death. Some people speculated that Pilar's silence was due to her desire to honor Wayne's legacy by maintaining his public reputation as a tough and resilient man. This was speculated to be the reason for her silence. It is possible that she chose to disregard the rumors and speculations in order to maintain the focus on his achievements rather than on the particulars of his passing. Those who were not aware of the situation believed that Pilar might have been protecting the privacy of her family, particularly her young children, who were still in the infant stage when Wayne passed away. The death of Wayne garnered a lot of attention from the media, which may have been the reason why she chose to shield her family from further scrutiny from the public. The public's perception was significantly altered as a result of Pilar's quiet. The fact that she did not comment on the persistent rumors contributed to the increased sense of mystery that surrounded Wayne's passing, and it led some individuals to believe that she did, in fact, conceal certain information from the public. Due to the absence of official statements or explanations, this silence allowed for the proliferation of rumors, which allowed for the space for imagination and speculation to grow. As a result, fans and the media were left to piece together their own tales, which frequently led to depictions of Wayne's later years that were exaggerated or overblown. Even while there are different ways to interpret Pilar's quiet, it is abundantly clear that her decision had a tremendous impact on how the general public felt about John Wayne's passing. The fact that she chose to disregard the rumors unwittingly contributed to the formation of the aura of mystery that surrounded his life, so adding yet another layer of enigma to his already legendary status. Want to know how Pilar Paulette's silence shaped the story of John Wayne's death? Keep watching. The Revelations. After decades of silence and conjecture, Pilar Paulette finally broke her silence to disclose important information on John Wayne's last years. Her disclosures illuminated areas of his life that had hitherto been obscure and offered a fresh viewpoint on the events around his death. Pilar verified that Wayne had been fighting cancer long before anyone else knew it. She revealed that Wayne had been hiding his condition not only from the public, but also from many of those close to him. His health had been declining for years. Among the most important disclosures was Wayne's deliberate choice to keep working despite understanding the degree of his condition. Pilar clarified that Wayne did not want his disease to characterize his last years and felt great responsibility to his fans and the movie business. This disclosure helped to clarify Wayne's reasons for keeping the entire degree of his sickness a secret and for assuming physically demanding positions even as his health deteriorated. Pilar also addressed the persistent tales concerning the radioactive debris from the Conqueror. She verified that Wayne had always thought his disease was connected to movie making, but he had never publicly admitted it since he wanted to avoid creating conflict or assigning guilt. This validation gave the idea more authority and helped to clarify Wayne's personal medical issues. This revelation could change everything you thought you knew. For many, the fresh knowledge humanized Wayne in a way never possible with his larger-than-life image. Fans and historians started to view him not only as the rugged, unbeatable cowboy, but also as a man who had struggled personally and had taken painful decisions against hardship. This gave his legacy additional complexity and portrayed a man who had been both a profoundly private person and a cultural figure. Media and public responses to Pilar's disclosures varied. Although some valued the fresh information on Wayne's life, others felt that the disclosures damaged his reputation, since they ran counter to the immortally perfect image he had developed over his career. For most, though, the fresh knowledge simply strengthened their respect for Wayne, since it demonstrated his tenacity and commitment to his profession, even in the face of great obstacles. The validation of Wayne's conviction that his cancer was connected to the radioactive fallout from the film The Conqueror has sparked debates on the government's and film companies' obligations in safeguarding actor and crew member health. This gave Wayne's legacy a fresh angle and made him a symbol of the possible risks that people in the entertainment business run. The disclosures overall caused John Wayne's life and career to be re-examined. Though his public persona as a tough hero stayed the same, the additional information offered a more complex picture of the man behind the myth. The knowledge of John Wayne's personal battles and the sacrifices he had made in search of his trade enhanced his legacy rather than lessened it by the disclosures. Ready to see how these revelations have forever changed John Wayne's legacy? Keep watching to discover the lasting impact. If you found this deep dive into John Wayne's life fascinating, don't miss out on other videos. We've got more incredible stories waiting for you. Click now to explore and uncover more captivating tales from Hollywood's legendary icons. Watch now.